And a blinking step into the sun. There's more to see than can never be seen. More to do than can never be done. There's far too much to take in here. More to find than can ever be found. Watch the sun rolling high through the sapphire sky. Keeps great and small on the endless ride. It's a circle of life when it moves us all through despair and hope. Yeah, through faith and love till we find a place. On the path unwinding, when the circle of life. It's a circle of life when it moves us all through despair and hope, faith and love, till we find our place. On the path unwinding, when the circle of
Good morning, everybody. Very nice. Always nice to see you here. Also, although I have to say this side looks a lot nicer than the other side. It is about the people who are not here, not about the one who are here. You look very nice, of course. I hope you had an interesting first day and similarly interesting first night. I just wanted to use this opportunity a little bit to remind a few things. Most important things first. Be nice to your student over here. We have Nico, who will be very happy to be nice towards him and also towards his volunteers here in Braunschweig. It's a lot of work to host such a national assembly, and always there's things which are not going right. That's completely normal. Please give some feedback and feedback rounds and everything, but don't be mean to see if anything is not working out as it was planned. Another thing, it's just a short reminder about what we had yesterday, presented by our lovely Daniel about the rules of the game. We have a very diverse group of people here. That is not only the things that we are saying about the inclusion we always want to practice. We also have different characters and everything. So, short reminder: please don't pressure people to do anything, maybe drinking or whatever it is, and respect what the people want. Be inclusive, try to include everybody. But yeah, respect boundaries. And yeah, after this mood lifting opening, we will hopefully have a nice day. We have some really, really nice topics today. We will get to know lovely people from our candidates for candidate sections, our future of the network, not just that, but also the next assembly. And we will talk about the very near future in the beginning, which is the spring break happening next week. So, go ahead. Quorum check. Okay, don't go ahead.
Yeah, so quorum check. I assume that a couple sections don't want to participate today, which are Augsburg, Braunschweig, Deggendorf, Dortmund, Göttingen, Ingolstadt, and Mannheim. And if you do, please come to the front now, otherwise we will need quorum check.
In Englisch das kommt nicht. Ja, ich weiß. Die haben gefragt, ob es möglich wäre, was abzugeben. Unsere SDS sagen vor dem Start. Nee.
Also Marco hatte das von Braunschweig, aber Marco ist nicht da.
Okay, then we can continue with our quorum check. Do we have our scrutiny somewhere around?
Yes, sir. I need my glasses.
Your smart glasses.
That's true knowledge.
Okay. As yesterday we had a look at our mission, or the mission of ESN International. Now we have a look at our German national organization. And the quorum check question for today is, which is the smallest German town that has an ESN section regarding to population? Is it Landau, Deggendorf, or Greifswald? Greifswald. Okay. Did everyone understand the question? No phones, no Googling. Okay, so everyone who votes for Landau, please put your voting devices up.
Come on.
In the back, voting devices, please up and not on.
And both hands when you have to. Take that.
Yes. Thank you. We really need to improve on that. But no wiggling around. That's not working for the scrutiny. They have to see the things. Okay. Who votes for B, Deggendorf? And who votes for Greifswald?
So I think it's one.
Is it one? Awesome. We distributed 35 voting devices, and we have 35 votes, which is nice. Awesome. Congrats to you. And it's Deggendorf. with 35 or 1,000 people. Thanks.
Thank you. Come on, man. Tomorrow. I was sorry. I got my tomorrow. This is a question.
Okay. Silence. Now it's already here, our dear Luis, telling us something about Spring Break 2022. You might. You should.
Yes, you do.
I
You should read it.
I don't, but apparently some people like I think
Do it.
I think do it next month. When? Like 5 minutes ago.
Cool, thank you. That's enough. Yeah, guys.
Yeah. No.
We have a question.
Huh?
From took us over. That's why we need to be on time. Tomorrow.
It's back there behind Tanya on the piano.
Do I really need to use the mic? Can't I just speak
For the camera, for the
Damn
camera,
it.
for the live stream.
Okay. Okay, but in fact, I never used to speak like this on my mic. I didn't mean it. Okay, does this work? Good. Okay, so first of all, who never heard about Shiver? Raise your hand, please. Never heard about Shiver. Okay, good. Just two hands. This is good. Okay, so Shiver, as basically every one of you knows, except for two people, Shiver is our national event. It will happen next week in Berlin. I hope everyone is excited. Okay, good. But for a moment, I was doubting that. Okay, so updates. So we are on a new record of participants. After basically all tickets were sold, as some of you know, I see about this ticket exchange that I will text you again. About if I know a couple of sections still have apparently a couple of tickets to sell that people don't sell, and then there was this one section that told me they wanted to give tickets away, and then this whole them we don't know anything. But everything is pointing that this year we will have 1,110 participants, which is basically 200 more than the edition of 2019, which was the last period we had. So yes, please be happy. This year we also are having a way more extensive cultural program. Which you got the spot allocation last night, as far as I've been told by the cultural team. I do know that some of you would like to get the cultural options, like in September, to announce to your Erasmus what exactly are the cultural options that we will get at the school break. Thing is, that's simply not possible in the way that many of the museums that we are going, they don't allow us to book more than 1 month in advance. So many of the options that we will have, we only will book them like mid of September, some of them even like 2 weeks ago. So yeah, I do understand that you would like to announce to your internationals what the cultural program will be like months in advance, but people like we ourselves cannot even do it more than sometimes 2 weeks in advance. Yeah, so besides the cultural program, there has been some changes for Friday afternoon program. Apparently, I hear rumors about some flanky ball tournament, 500 versus 500 participants in each side of the flanky ball. Then, yeah, besides that, also this year we are having some alternative programs for the party. Because that's one of the feedback we got in 2019, that not everyone wants to go party. So this year we have a graffiti tour instead of the party, which is a slightly more cultural program, but at the same time also still not a boring program. And yeah, that's in general really like that update. Because not much changed since the last NA by rights. I'm already covering some of the questions of the question time. I know some of you will ask about helpers. Because only last night we finished the cultural program, so only last night we know when we need helpers for the city tours. So only now I can send the mail asking for helpers for the shifts. And also the room allocation, we also had to clear some stuff with the hostel that the personnel made no sense. So yeah, also the room allocation will be sent the mail to the sections. That one probably on Monday for each one of you to put, or that's then up to you. Either you are responsible for your group section, put the names randomly on the list, or you ask your international if they want to stay with someone on the room. That's up to you. And what this more? There was one more thing. You will also get a mail today to ask you about t-shirt size. That this year is different from 2019. We will try at least to have all the welcome bags prepared in advance. So there will be just one person per section to go there to the check-in, to grab all the welcome bags, to grab all the card keys, and then you as the person for your section distribute to your members. Section that there are way too many people, we might also try to help you with some of the people. But still the idea is that the section do the check-in, not the participants. And also this year we will have breakfast slots. Some of you will not be happy when we will tell you that you only have from 7 to 8 to go for breakfast, and you were starting up to drop from 10. Because the one that we have in 2019 know that the room itself, like the breakfast room, has no more capacity than 300 people. So if we let you go wild, we know that everyone will try to look for breakfast like at 9, all 1,000 people. Well, you will simply not be able to have breakfast, and you might, if we let you do this, you might even have to wait for an entire hour on the queue for breakfast. So we will give you breakfast locations. We will try to change from day to day, so it's not always catching when at 7 in the morning. But yeah, there will be allocations for breakfast. There will be, you will get some paper, you as the participants will get some sort of like paper tickets with the section, so there are activities of like trying to tell us that we have in a different section. There will be people checking that just so that everyone can have breakfast in a normal time, in terms of waiting time. And overall, there are all the updates. So, question time, I guess.
Good. We're opening the speakers list for the spring break updates. Are there any questions? Yes. Isn't that your name?
Yes, just checking everything.
Yeah, it's your turn.
So Gavin lives in Munich. I was wondering, because I read in Slack that there were constructions on the plant route for the flag parade, and was wondering if there has been anything yet.
Yes, so like the original idea for the flag parade was to play that same flag as 2019. And whatever square that was at the end that I cannot pronounce the name of it, is not construction work. So this year actually we will have an improvement in a way. Because instead of ending the flag parade in sort of a secondary square somewhere in Berlin, we will be ending the flag parade at Lustgarten, really right by the Humboldt Forum, with the Berliner Dom in the background. So we will also use that for the group picture after the flag parade, with all 1,000 participants having all of that nice building, museum in the background. So there has been that change. Yeah.
So there's a big into this. What are the amenities of the flag parade concerned? Is it going to be how many years old to make self-flags for the participants? Are those things been set in place, or do you have the
We will have around 300 European flags that we get sponsored by the House. But flags from each country, like we will get some, but limit. We will tell you to tell your participants if they like. I do know by experience that many internationals will bring their own flags in the exchange. So that's why like the participants should bring their own flags if they have them. If any section wants to sell flags in there, I don't want to use the word, I don't care about it. But like we will not stop you of selling flags in there if any section is thinking about that. And also we will order some flags that we will lend in exchange for some like fun thing. But yeah, like the idea is that the participants should bring their own flags. Did that cover your entire question, or
I also asked about music.
There should be a music card that when somebody is still not 100% set, but everything goes according to plan, we will have a music card.
Good night. Daniel, to be Munich, if you have a packing list or a rough idea, or could you maybe send it? So, like, if you have more important things like flags, I would like to know beforehand and not tell them on Wednesday night, like, by the way, you have to get up early and buy flags, so early road has a country.
Yeah, no, that one I really have to admit that we totally forgot that we should also send a packing list until that someone mentioned that on Slack like 3 days ago. Yes, we will be sending with one of our mails a packing list latest on Monday. No, I doubt we can get that earlier on, sorry. There will be also survival guide. I forgot this thing. There will be also survival guide that we will send to the sections to share with your participants. And there will be also a Telegram channel where the participants should join to get all the more important announcements from the OC. That's the thing, like as a OC, we will really only on the Telegram channel announce like these really main things, like when the party starts, like parade, because the entire program depends on the section, so we don't want to cause confusion on that. The Telegram channel will be just for the main stuff.
I was wondering if there have been any partnership or sponsorships with these.
No.
Samuel, to be Munich. Since you finished the cultural program application yesterday, when can I expect my email with the response?
You should have gotten that yesterday. If you did not, then please tell me.
I don't think I have.
Okay, I will then check with the culture team.
Ja, in diesem Community, wisst ihr, when to expect help for and how many help will be needed?
I did cover that on presentation.
How many help will be needed?
That I because the cultural program was not finished yesterday. I haven't checked myself how many helpers we need for the city tours. But for everything else, we actually don't really need that many helpers because we have a lot of facilitators. So we will need a couple of people for the breakfast shifts that to check on there. For the check-in, we will have to be covered by the office itself. And then for the flag parade, we also might need a couple of helpers to like use these yellow vests to make sure that the people stay on the path. So maximum without the city tours, we will have like 7 helpers.
More.
Or nothing more?
Okay.
Yeah.
Who's that?
And yeah, where are the parties going to be?
Sorry?
Parties.
We only have a party on Saturday, which will be at Anomaly. Yeah.
No questions? It's a chance. Get them.
Yeah, is the party exclusive or will it be?
Yes, exclusive, just for us. Because some of you asked and will ask, we will sell up to 70 tickets on cash in there for 15 euros. In cash only, by the way.
Are you a third person? Do we have any contact person in case of emergencies? Or are we gonna get a survival guide, as you said, that also mentions what we do in case of emergencies if anything goes wrong, if everything goes wrong?
Nothing will go wrong, but in case of that, yes, you will get the contact of the minority people. So me and Isabella Camp from Eastern Botanic, that is our vice head of coffee. And also there will be an awareness team that the participants will get contact on the soil guide. That we will have a phone number that is just for the event, so it's not their personal phone number. That there will be two people always checking if there's anyone that needs to contact the awareness team, and the participants will have that contact.
To be a little more specific about audio flag parades, I think those are 2 events for the most possible amount of things to go wrong. Are there any trust people that you're asking to just go directly to? Because we're not going to get a lot of organizers from our section there. I can imagine it's going to be the same from some other section as well. Are there people that you're asking to go to? Do you have something like this in mind?
Besides the awareness team, which in a way is not specific what they will be contacted for. No, because the thing is we really are counting on the sections to where a couple of responsibles per section that your international should contact in case they need something, because like sharing, for example, my phone number with 1,200 people is not very good. That's also kind of like, then I will have like every random person texting me for the smallest thing, like where is the museum, they got lost from the group and they will run. So the way that we still organize the rec at the moment, that we sell the tickets for the sections should have their own responsibles for their international.
My question is, the memorial in the party, if anything happens to the party, and I don't know, at 3 a.m. where half of the organizers might not also be in the office situation.
Ariane, please, if you have another question, raise your hand. Wait until I tell you are allowed.
Basically along the same line.
It's not a conversation, though.
It's not a conversation. That's so if you have, just answer this question and then we go further.
No, we really ask about the section to please be responsible in terms of who is, like from your section, in which area is responsible. That we recommend you to at least one person stay sober during the night.
Okay, thank you.
Any more questions? No.
Okay, question of more like a second. If any session is still as tickets that you could not sell, please do tell me. Just check.
Otherwise, 3, 2, 1, we're closing the speakers list for this. Thank you very much, Luis. Somebody from Bielefeld, education for the clinic section of Bielefeld.
Immer so. Aber ich dachte, du stehst jetzt da vorne, deswegen.
Gibt's Probleme?
Ja.
Dann zeig ich.
Du musst die Klappe jetzt mehr an. Bielefeld! Let's go! Gibt es doch!
Alright, that was a good start. Thanks for the applause. Yes, we are Bielefeld International Student Network, and I'm going to tell you in the next few minutes why you should vote for us tomorrow. Short overview about our topics. It's a quite long presentation. Maybe you could tell me if I'm a bit slow. I'm going to try to make fast. It's not going to be more than 10 minutes. So, our story basically is, before you ask anymore, once and for all, it does exist. So, spare the jokes. A lot about Bielefeld. The situation in Bielefeld was the following. We have the University of Bielefeld there, it's an international office, different departments, degree seeking, students, buddy program, there's the International Student Council, kind of the same as they are from Bielefeld, and we thought, okay, is there any interaction between that? Are there any groups who do something together? Not really. So our goals are bring everything of them together. Our bigger goal is to bring people from Bielefeld together with people who came to Bielefeld. Let's think about the motto we had yesterday, enrichment of society through cultural exchange. How are we doing this? By creating events to have fun together, help students in Bielefeld to have a beautiful time, and of course supporting international students in all situations. Who are we? Here right now with me is Matata, Katie, Mo, and me, and Sophia should be here. She's on the way. She's stuck again in the German trains, so you know the story. She's going to be here in a minute. Our founding members are 8 people. These were the first people, so really in the beginning we started with founding an association. So we are a registered association already. Shortly after that, in June, we did our first event with the international students. It was a barbecue, over 50 participants already, and I think we just assisted 1 or 2 weeks, so I guess it was a huge success. As it always goes, people finish their bachelor, the master's, so 1 guy left already, but other people, especially in this event, joined us already, like
can see here, Mo, for example. So yeah, at the end we got some more people. And how it goes, okay, we got also recruiting. We do that, we sell waffles at different university, everyone likes waffles.
Yeah.
We did flyers already, we did a recruiting event a few weeks ago, a bar evening where people joined us. So more and more people interested, and now we are already 18 volunteers who are actively participating and more interested people on the line, of course. Activities, what are we doing? These days we basically do lots of events for international students, but also for local students. This is typical calendar. We usually do it at the beginning of the month, post every event we're going to have, and then organize everything shortly. So we have social events like barbecue, I mentioned, karaoke night, movie night. Of course, beer pong, flankyball, we have Stammtisch, like around 5 does all the time. I don't know what's wrong with this point. Yeah, German breakfast. We have an Oktoberfest. The Oktoberfest was, by the way, together with the SA Göttingen in Braunschweig. Thanks for organizing it. And yeah, in the last few weeks we did more events like also movie park and language tandem, which is also for local students, for example, who want to go abroad. So we try to include all groups. And yeah, now stakeholders and partners. Of course, we cooperate with, first of all, our institutions. We have Bielefeld University in Bielefeld with 24,000 students in general, 1,000 degree-seeking students, exchange students. Okay, I sent you the slides a few minutes ago, but yeah, they weren't up to date. But I can tell out of hand. We have exchange students incoming in Bielefeld around 100 per year. We have outgoing students like around 400. And the FH Bielefeld has 11,000 students and also more than 400 degree-seeking international incoming students. And I think around 300, 400 outgoing students as well. Yeah. We of course cooperate with both international offices. We have cooperation and organizational support by the International Office of Bielefeld University and cooperation of Bielefeld University of Applied Sciences. And yeah, you see under construction is a cooperation with the Fachsprachenzentrum for language standards, for example, language programs and stuff. We also are dealing already, or let's say negotiating already with partners. We have one student bar. We did some joint events together already. Then there's it's called Bunker Ulmwald. I think most of you guys know Poetry Slam. It's a location where these kind of events are held. So we're talking with them right now, and we are maybe having a regular bar for us where we can meet regularly, and we also talk about some preparation this time. Yeah, what about the funding? Of course, we have the ASTA. For example, the ASTA sponsored our trip today, which is quite nice. We are of course going to apply for the local Erasmus initiative next year, and we have the international office as well, which is not shown here, but they already offered us some financial support as well, so we can count on that in the near future. And our next steps, I'm sorry for this pointer, basically, yeah, become an ESN section. That is up to you. And next steps in, let's say, like what we want to do statistically is reach more people by enhancing our corporations, gain Instagram followers, for example, organize more events, and apply for live funding. These are all those close steps, and then we're gonna see. Thank you so much. I think this time will be quite fast. Questions?
Are there any questions to Bielefeld? Who's that? Yes. Yeah.
This is a fellow, and he positions minister on the vice treasurer when I read it correctly. Many sections started having
What is the question exactly?
Why do we have the vice treasurer?
Why not? There are more people than to listen. but basically, I mean, this job requires a lot of work, so it's better to have two people than one.
Good. More questions? Friends? Yeah. What's your name and section, please?
Is the vice member a real board position, so is that registered at the Amtsgericht as well, and does the person have all accounting stuff, like are they allowed to at this bank?
Yeah, it's officially registered.
What's the question?
Mandela National Board. What's up with Bielefeld and arm injuries? No, wait, not that question. Not that question. Do you guys have your own office at the university? No?
Not yet. I talked with the international office. They offered us some help, but Bielefeld University is growing since years and bursting all over. So rooms are really difficult right now. So that's really why we're also checking the city itself, for example. We have some storage room for drinks and that stuff, which are already but not a room, let's say, for meetings. So we have our Stammtisch in bars, for example, and meetings. But sometimes we book rooms in the university here, so possibilities are there, but not yet in the room.
Maybe in the future, because we are an official Hochschule. Yeah.
David, listen to really answer a question relating to Isabella's question you answered. If vice treasurer is an official position, what is the important to find vice treasurer in the future?
I would say so. If there's the question was if there will be a vice treasurer always in the future. But there's one. Yeah, we're quite optimistic about that. I mean, for information, we exist since a few months, and we directly got like 12 people in official positions. And yeah, right now, every few weeks, we gain more people on joining us. So I don't think we're going to have any problems for finding vice treasurer in the future.
Just a real feedback. Patrick, maybe only because a position is registered within an A section because for statutes it doesn't mean they have to actually fill this position every time. I think the only positions you need to fill is like president and treasurer and what? Not the vice treasurer. That's the point.
Let's talk more about.
Hi, Margarita Yesani. My question is if you cooperated with ESN, some ESN sections in the past on some events, which ones did you like?
Lewis, for example?
I'm not a section.
Now, we didn't say we went to Hannover to the Oktoberfest together with Braunschweig and Göttingen, and I think a few weeks before we also went to Hannover and met some people from ESN Hannover for a picnic. And we're talking with Dortmund right now, we are planning some events, and just yesterday I planned actually another event in Braunschweig around our Christmas market.
Chris is in Freiburg. Do you have a mascot? What's his name?
Half ghost, half real, and his name is Casper.
Can you hold it up?
What's his name?
Casper.
Casper.
Like Cass Bear?
Like ghost.
Like Cass Bear?
Casper.
Oh.
To that? Okay, yeah. Yep, good.
Did you get your mascot by chance yesterday last minute?
Good.
Hello, Thomas, National Board. Thank you so much for a very nice presentation.
My question, you talked a little bit about the idea behind it, but I heard you also have a very interesting history, like where did this all come from, this idea? It's a very interesting thing.
The very idea comes not only from us, but also from the international office itself. This is maybe a benefit because the international offices in Bielefeld themselves are interested to establish an ESN section there. So, yeah, there was kind of an idea of them, but also, yeah, basically ruled by them and, yeah.
Leon mentioned board support. Do you know the 6 causes of ASN?
We have social inclusion.
We have health and well-being.
We have culture.
Education.
Skills and employability.
And environmental.
Yeah.
Very nice. Education, beautiful.
More questions? Anyone? Raise your hands.
Good morning, Niklas, thanks for Braunschweig. We talked so much about the past. What are your plans for the future, especially on ESN collaboration with other sections and events?
I get asked a lot these days which region we're going to join, because we are quite in the middle of West and North, and we still think about it. West is of course on the table because of the semester ticket, but North is also really close. Some sections, for example, like Braunschweig, Göttingen, for example, and I personally thought, for example, we could maybe like be the connection between West and North, and I also have the idea. And I have this idea, I don't know if it sounds smart for us because it's a lot to organize with the joint FE, for example. Let's see.
More questions? Tobias.
Tobias from Stuttgart, so thank you for your presentation. It was a nice one. So joining the network goes also along with certain responsibilities. For example, joining the CLR call, going to the NAs, and you see the last section we approved is only with one person. So how do you ensure that now you have 4 people? How do you ensure that once your candidate section, probably also the proper ESN section, that you continuously come with 4 people? How do you ensure participating in the national level, the CLR course, and other national courses?
It's a good question, of course, because I think it's also, we are at the very beginning of our team, so I think I would lie if I had a 100% clear answer about that, because I think everybody in the beginning struggles with that, but since we gained 18 volunteers in the last few weeks, and it's still interested people, I think we are on a good way, and I mean, we got funding for our first NA already by the ASTA, for example. So funding definitely is a thing. And small correction, we were supposed to be 6 people already. One got sick. His foot is broken, by the way.
You gotta tell us
yeah.
why.
So I think the fact that we are here with 6 people, not even being in a candidate section, that's not already.
I want to add something. I mean, I don't have an answer to your question, like in particular, but I can say that we. Like, I don't have an answer, like exactly one for your question, but I can say with confidence that we are a good team. I mean, I work with other people, and I can say these are good.
Okay, any more questions? Otherwise, we'd like to quit the speakers list. 3, 2, 1. Speakers is closed. Thank you very much. Application for candidate section Berlin 1.
Hi. Okay. I wanted to start energetic, but we are Berlin 1, the Berlin Erasmus International Network of Students. Here we are, and we want to be ESN candidate section. And here's why. So, about us, we are a group of currently 30 active and motivated members. Most of them are former outgoing exchange students or international buddies from the Technical University Berlin. Berlin has 35,000 students and 325 incoming exchange students. And I will give you a brief update about our history. Everything started in the beer garden with 4 people, including Mustafa. Unfortunately, Mustafa has COVID, so he isn't here, but he's in our hearts. And we had our first event at the lake in Plötzensee on the 29th of May. You might remember I presented this event at the lake in Darmstadt. And that was also the next step. We went to the lake in Darmstadt and said, hey, here we are. And after that, we invited former outgoing students from TU Berlin via the international office to an introduction meeting. Around 20 people came. And our mission is to ensure that the exchange students have an unforgettably amazing time in Berlin. So now about structure of our organization. We have a board, a great board, including me, Laurens, the president, Philip, the vice president, Vanessa, treasurer, next slide, Kate, our local representative, Peter, event manager, Maria is the secretary. She's joining in about 2 hours. She has Sunday unfortunately, but she will come. And Anna Sophia, our communication officer. So, like I said, we have around 30 active members. We have a WhatsApp group with 50 people, but yeah, many people are not engaging themselves. Yeah, I am glad that we have 20 to 30 active members. And you see one of some of our members at our team building event at TU Berlin in our beautiful lab building. And yeah, we have a team meeting every week. On Thursday, and from time to time we have a team building event here. So, our events. We have many events like beer ball, like a Potsdam board game afternoon with Werwolf. It was on Halloween. We have a Teufelsberg hiking trip, and we will go to the Christmas market and many more events. We try to link our events to the ESN courses. Like our bike tour with sustainability and health, our Bundestag tour to education, our Berlin Wall tour for culture, Yes, we have some problems to include the courses, skills, and employability and social inclusion, but we are just in the beginning and we will have some great events lead to these courses as well. So here we have some pictures of our Instagram page and pictures of our events. This was the Potsdam ID tour. That was our first event at Plitzensee. I already introduced it to this at that in Braunschweig. And this was 3 weeks ago on our weekly bar night. Okay, and now our progress so far. We registered ourselves to become a Vereinigung with TU Berlin, and since last week we actually are. We can now book rooms 6 weeks in advance. We are in close connection with the international office because we're working there. And we found a lot of motivated members through the email to the former international students, exchange students, and in cooperation with the TU Berlin Buddy program. Our next step, approved as a Vereinigung, yeah, that already happened. We want to become a DAAD to get our first funding. We don't have any money yet, but we will have soon. Then we want to become a Verein, and hopefully soon, here's a candidate section by tomorrow. We want to find more partners, for example, the Sprachen- und Kulturbörse, and of course organize more events. Thank you. Please follow us on Berlin Nights on Instagram. That would be nice. And now we have the questions.
Yeah!
Question number begins. Anybody went next to pass the microphone back and forth, maybe we should get it. Come on. Thank you.
Hello, Thomas, National Board, also for you. Thank you very much for being here and presenting yourself. Since Berlin is quite a big city with a lot of students, a lot of international students for events, but also a lot of potential volunteers, I was wondering how big do you think the section like you already has any structures in mind how to handle being potentially a very big section in the future?
So we first started at TU Berlin to found our section, and hopefully from next semester on we want to include the other 2 big universities as well. And, yeah, so we want to found substructure so that we have responsible persons as in the university.
Can I add something? I don't know if you can hear me, it's fine. Yeah, so like when I'm thinking about this also because we talked to me, they also have a lot of students, so they also kind of gave us some ideas. Like there are different possibilities since we're just starting. So one possibility is we actually get to like we're going to have different representatives from different universities, and then like of course we're going to be divided into groups of teams, so like the partnership, communication team, and etc. And then the people who are responsible at the university are just going to report also to us what's happening there, or otherwise we will be doing like what the clinic is doing.
Aziz?
Hello, Aziz, ESN Bochum. Actually, I have a question regarding AI, like do you have any cooperation with these people? Or?
Are you talking about this another library, which is
Like-
actually a library? No, we don't have a cooperation with them.
Yeah.
When we started, Mustafa talked a lot with other lives in Berlin, and there were always some problems why they couldn't join ESN because they are employed at university or stuff like that. And the university has its own structure. So for now, we're not cooperating.
And for example, we talked to HTW Berlin. They have already a live section, but they are connected with the international office and they get the funding from the university. And they're not supposed to have other students from other universities, but we want to be ESN Berlin, so to include everyone.
Sorry, welcome to the interdisciplinary position. Saying like cooperation doesn't kind of affect that work belong to the same field, for example.
I mean, right now we are a mixed group, so we have people from the FM and also from the Humboldt University. So we are already a mixed group, and the 2 weeks first.
Of course.
Of course. So we have already people outside from the other universities, and because we have 3 big universities, you will know a lot of people from there, so it's really easy.
Hi, I'm from so I wanted to ask you, now that you're an argument that do you have like a restriction in terms of members that you have from other universities or that you have from your own university?
Yeah, that was like a bit of a struggle because we have to be 70% of TU students. So that's why we want to found a finding not only at TU Berlin but also at HakuNA and FU, so that all the students can engage themselves. But for now, we are definitely 70% or 80% of TU students, so it shouldn't be a problem.
Margarita?
Hi, Margarita Yesendezanin. I wanted to ask you if you plan to stay like as ESN Berlin 1 or just ESN Berlin, or what sisters will be ESN Berlin?
So I think we would love to be ESN Berlin, but now we want to found a verein, and we only have this name for now, and it will cost a lot of money to change the name. So we're thinking about to have Berlin 1 e.V., but presenting ourselves as ESN Berlin as soon as we are.
The others? Covered? Good.
Tobias from Göttingen, section 2. Thank you for your presentation. I think you mentioned short last time of the presentation.
Yeah, sure, for you.
Because you had yeah, exactly. So there are a lot of steps. So what is the time frame for all of those steps, especially the live and becoming an association? And what's the provocating question? Don't you think it might be better to step a bit back and first get the formal stuff done before you apply for the section? Because you're still really young, so maybe it's better to settle and to have people working before you can listen to the section.
The new funding for EAD just started again, like the application period. So we will apply then and for the 2023. And the next steps, like becoming a verein, actually want to do it as soon as possible. Also becoming ESN as soon as possible, because right now when we have our structures, like we need to have some communication platforms. We can't use Slack, we want to use Microsoft Teams. We just thought to become ESN Berlin 2 would make stuff easier for us to find ourselves.
especially the international office is really looking forward that we become an ESN section. They told us that it would be nice if that happened as soon as possible, because then they can have an official partnership with us. Of course, they can do it for events as well.
So time frame as soon as possible without any date.
Like
in the the next week, so next week or 2 weeks, we want to start the process of founding.
Okay, cool.
And we already set up all the documents and have like a Satzung, so.
Okay, good enough. Patrick.
Patrick, maybe, just a comment to what is discussed here. If you need any help with like structure and stuff like that, there's a national board that supports you, there's an audit board that supports you. There are 42 sections that are more than happy to help you out with more than a couple of years of experience. So you're not alone, talk to the NB, talk to the AD. We do help you. Other than that, I actually do have a question. You introduced 7 people as your board. Are you full board members? Are all of you full board members? Who is registered or who's going to be registered at the Amtsgericht? And how do you structure, or how do you want to structure your national board, local board? Do you have supporters? Do you have the core national board? What's up with that?
So we will discuss the next board meeting on Tuesday about the Vereins process and who's going to be on the board. I hope that we all can. But in the Vereinigung from Tübingen, there are only supposed to be 3 board members, only treasurer and vice president. But I think we are all working as one board. So we have our board meetings and our team meetings as well.
Regional Braunschweig, what kind of potential partners do you have in mind? What kind of potential partners do you have in mind for your section?
I in mind for some of the Sprach- und Kulturprojekte. Yeah.
Good. Arian?
Arian to Dresden. Lawrence, you mentioned that you work at the IO, the international office. That could definitely be a benefit. But at certain points, there could also be a conflict of interest because the international office might be following its own agenda in Europe and part of the ESN. Have you considered this possibility and how you're going to deal with it when it comes to this difficult case?
Actually, I'm not working. So I'm working in the outgoing department. So I'm responsible to advise students who want to go on exchange. I'm not working in the incoming department. So the person who's responsible for us in the IO is not my boss. We know each other because we're living in the same room, not room, but same office. But yeah, I think there's no conflict of interest because it's not my.
Any more questions? Yes.
Did you already have a cooperation with other ESN sections, or do you plan to do so in the future?
I think I can say big, so we had local platform last week, and the guys from Berlin Eins were also participating there, and we are also invited as regional coordinator. And at East, we invited Berlin Eins to join us for the next event of the East, which will be Christmas party in the 19th of December. And we were also thinking of a collaboration with Potsdam because they're the closest section. But of course, when we are officially it will be easier also to get in touch with other sections or get more stuff together.
We're still pretty young, so we have some new events which will grow in a little complexity in time, obviously, and of course we will cooperate with you. We are with.
Yeah, and also Berlin Eins is helping with very
Isabel?
Isabel is in Braunschweig. You said you want to apply for LAI funding. Is there a LAI actually in Berlin already? And do you have the international office agreement already?
We have to talk to the international office. Yeah, we have to talk to the person. is a bit
difficult.
Special.
She don't want to have too much stress, but yeah, we have to talk to her that it isn't too stressful to become with the HakuNA.
Thomas, last question.
Thomas, National Board. I see you have a really great team there, a lot of experience, ESNers also from other sections, from different sections where you were before. I mean, the series here of them up there, which is amazing. It brings a lot of experience and advantages. So the question would be also, what do you do to integrate probably some new people and that don't have that relationship with them? How do you bring them closer together to integrate them also in your team?
Well, most of us have actually no ESN. Most of us have no ESN experience, as me, for example. Most of us just joined because they were recently went on an exchange here. They just wanted to have an amazing feeling of having awesome people around them. So, what we do to integrate them, I mean, we try to have meetings as open as possible. So we actually have not that many board meetings, but we meet every week with our team. And so we try to include everyone. We try to update everyone on everything, so forth and so on.
But please very quickly.
Yeah, so I'm also new to ESN, but I think the experience of the others who already work for ESN helps a lot because they kind of already have an idea how it works, and I think that's really, really nice actually because you have some people who don't have experience yet, so they give new input, but also people, who have already a set structure in mind and know how it works. So I think that's quite nice that we have a really mixed group of people. So for example, also some people already work in ESN sections outside of Germany, which is really, really nice actually.
Okay, so thank you very much. Shortly, you can questions and answers as short and as quickly as possible. No interest opportunity to spread first. Don't get too far in with your answers and questions. That would be very, very nice. So the next one is the application for the Winter National Assembly in 2023 by ESN Köln.
Do I get a fancy microphone or something?
Wait a second.
So before I start my presentation, 3 things up front. First of all, I got this presentation at 4 a.m. this morning, so please mercy, put the questions later. Also, second point, I'm not part of the OC, I'm just the only guy from Cologne they could force here during Carnival, so that's why. Last night we were 7 people. So I might not have the most detailed information if you ask me questions later. And the third thing, which is actually a positive thing, we basically planned this whole thing for the FGSM already, which was supposed to be this September. I don't know if you heard it yesterday, we already talked about it, that there was supposed to be a French-German section meeting in Cologne, which didn't fail because of the organizer, which didn't fail because nobody wanted to come. So there was 1 registration in France, I don't know, pretty sad. But on the flip side, we basically already know what we want to do for this because it's structurally the same. And yeah, so we turned our frustration that it didn't work into motivation to do another ESN event, a big one. And this one you can't not come because it's mandatory, so you have to fucking come. So. Okay, now we can start. So let's talk about all the necessary things that come with organizing an A. You know, the OC, accommodation, venue, transportation, food, social program, budget, and questions you might have in the end. Do I have a button myself? No, I think you have to do the slides, right? Yeah, the OC, like I said, I'm not part of it, but a lot of people that you probably know. I mean, you know Kirsty and Isabella, obviously, and yeah, we have a quick just go through them. I'm not gonna say. I think there's another slide. You'll see. Yeah. So we have no C for all the core parts, and we can continue. Yes. So accommodation, like I said, I think it's the same hostel we want to book for the FGSM as well, and it has 126 beds. And yeah, 4 to 8 people for per room. And it's going to be check-in from 3 p.m. and check-out Sunday at 10 a.m. It's at Neumarkt, so it's very central in the city. It's a little bit away from the university. It's like, I think, 15 to 20 minutes by foot, but normally you just take the train for like 10 minutes into there. And but it's really cool because it's in the central city. So also for like city tour, if you just want to have some free time and enjoy the city center of Cologne, you can easily go everywhere by foot. The thing also is, I mean, Cologne is a little bit of a bigger city, so it's not as cool as here where you can walk everywhere easily. Sometimes you have to take the train in Cologne. But we have also thought about that. Then the venue for our plenaries and everything is the KHG. We have a long-standing cooperation with the KHG. It's not a university because it's like very frustrating to get rooms at Hörsaal at the University of Cologne, but the KHG is basically besides the university, and yeah, we do our meetings there, we do our events there, and it's very nice also because we do a lot of international dinners there as well. They have a big kitchen, so we can not only do the plenaries there, we can also do maybe yeah, the dinner and lunch there as well. What I didn't say before, breakfast is included in the hostel, so that's very nice as well. Yeah, like I said, the venue it's pretty nice. I mean, it works for our purposes. Anyway, like I said before, the hostel itself is very, very close to the city center, so that has the positive side that you can walk in the city center everywhere, but you have to go probably by train to the venue for the plenaries. But you know, I mean, you can also walk 20 minutes. I mean, we all have, like, we're young, most of us, and we can walk. I mean, like, it's 20 minutes, you know. Next part, yes, transportation. So because of that, we wanted to have the city ticket for the weekend included for the train. I was actually thinking about maybe, I don't know if it's going to be that necessary because probably there's going to be a 49 euro ticket by that time in February, which means maybe if they get it done. And so maybe it's going to be already a student ticket that you can take the train for free anyway. So, but it's for now we plan to have a train ticket in our fee included. Next one. Yes, food. We wanted to concentrate also on our causes as well. That's why we focus on sustainability and also on health and well-being, which means we wanted to have the food vegetarian and vegan completely. Yes, so we're going to have the regional dinner and basically the Mensa. It's based very close to the KHG, so we can just walk to the Mensa and get the food there. And on Saturday, it's still to be decided because the Mensa isn't open. And yes, like I said, the KHG has multiple kitchens, and we already do international dinners there anyway, so we can also take care of the food just at the KHG itself. Yes, the social program is still a little bit up for it's a work in progress. So Thursday, we wanted to do Brauhaus dinner, probably at Hellas Brauhaus, because of Brauhaus events there anyway with the Erasmus. And it's not going to be included in the participation fee. Yeah, Louis loves that. And then pub quiz in the evening, and Friday regional dinner, just traditional stuff, and it's going to be at the KHG because we have vacations there and everything. And yes, we are still like I said, it's a work in progress. But yeah, we have an open mic, talent show, karaoke, and stuff we do anyway a lot. So we do that with the Erasmus, we do that with you. If it's good enough for the Erasmus, it's good enough for you guys. On Saturday, it's going to be a party, and on Sunday, open a city tour. They put that in there, probably I'm going to have to do it, because paying the city tours, but they haven't asked me. Yes, prices, important. So, like I said, some things are still up for debate. It's definitely going to be not more than 120 euros. That's the absolute worst case. That is if we don't get any funding and everything is included. So we are expecting some funding, I think from the also something. So 110 euros is more realistic, but like I said, it's not going to be more than 120 euros is what Kirsty should. So word of mine. Yes. Yes, I think. I mean, we just talked about the. Oh, I have 3 minutes. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Here's a QR code. I have no idea where it leads. I have to scan it myself. And the whole merch thing, you didn't see that. That's just that we have we go to 120 euros, and for some reason we have 200. We're gonna make t-shirts for everyone, but no promises on that. Like I said, financial support from the University of Cologne is still, we're still negotiating. The KHG venue is for free, and the worst case is 120 euro, but likely less. Yes, partners and supporters still in progress, but like I said, we have a lot of stuff recycled from the FGSM, and for example, we already have a cooperation with Frühkirch, and we have, I think, like 42 crates or something in the basement at one of our people that are just sitting there waiting for you guys to drink. And, yeah, international office for financial support, DAAD for formal support, and we'll likely do a speech, and also the city of Cologne, and one of the mayors might give a speech. So we are still negotiating on that. And I think we are now at question time. Yes. Yeah, wait. Wait. Oh, yeah. Questions.
Speakers, this is open.
Hi, Luis, financial auditor. And yeah, we know that we are part of the so we will not be a question but more of a remark. But in your budget, it's included 6 euros for merchandise. That's as far as I see as the financial audit is a big no, because the presentation fee we should try to get it as cheap as possible. And so everything that are that nice extras should not be part of the presentation fee, because in many cases the participants do need to pay the fee by themselves, not our organization or anyone. And in some cases, 6 euros really can make a difference for someone. So yeah, that's sort of nice things. Merchandise, welcome that should be the stuff that we get should be tried either to get for free, sponsored by something else, or should be an extra payment, not part of the concession fee, because that's not, again, it's a nice thing, but it's not necessary for the National Assembly.
Yeah, I will give this information. And also, like, I already talked to Kirsty, she was like, don't mention merchandise, but it's on the slides. Anyone else?
Okay. Yeah, well, my question actually goes in the same direction. Have you already Yes, is in Darmstadt. Have you considered or have you already contacted some banks they give donations, which are also usually not connected to any things for you to do.
Thanks.
Thanks, like Volksbank or Sparkasse.
Oh, okay, yeah. I have no idea. I don't know.
Toby? So, Patrick. So.
Yes. However, with all the bank stuff and stuff like that, in Darmstadt, we got funded with 1,000 euros from different banks. So,
okay,
if your partnership team, if it exists, has some questions, either pass on or tell them to contact the last and previous hosts.
Yeah, we have a partnership. I'm going to write it down.
Tobias Stuttgart. As far as I know, the NA is 1 week before Carnival. Will we have enough helpers for the NA?
We are a lot of people.
So that's working.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I can guarantee you, but we have a lot of helpers.
Is it on? Ali from Vietnam. There's a lot of questions going to them, but I'm going to say they have a great team in 2019-18. They've done a really great today. Don't make hard questions, but I ask them because the team is really good. That's all my question.
Thank you very much. Those are my favorite kinds of questions. Yeah.
I mean, I will ask Tobias Spetting. I will ask more questions.
Decide for one, that would be also saying
Vice head of OT is not here because she's in the city. How will you have the communication channels? Because sometimes it's really difficult to communicate with the which communication channels will be set up to ensure communication?
First of all, my feelings are hurt. No, I mean, we use Slack exclusively for our communication in our team. We don't do like anything over WhatsApp. So, I mean, we're probably going to do like Slack channels for everything. Like we normally do, and we will be available for us.
More questions? And we go on. 3, 2, 1. We're closing the speakers list. Thank you very, very much.
Okay, so I want to tell you about the TUMI app. You will see why later on. I have to stay here because I brought 27 slides for 15 minutes. So this will be to your benefit if you read them afterwards, and we will try to be fast. Yes, we will skip this. All right, we will also skip most of the text. What is the TUMI app? I wanted to show you what we built, why you might be interested in it, and what are the next steps. So the idea is to streamline our ESN section because we do a lot of events, around 400 per year, but we do not have that many really active people. So how do we do it? By automating most of the tedious tasks you have in ESN. And this has helped us since 2019 to run a lot of events with tons of internationals. A small disclaimer, all of this is obviously based on the way TUMI works. If you wanted to participate in this project, we would find ways to make it work for you. So this will probably be not the same for a section that has 15 internationals. So what is the main idea? We wanted to have a place where you can have an overview of the events for the internationals, like the calendar or a list, where they can register and where we can help run the events. One main part of this are the event templates. This is what we use to collect our knowledge. So basically everything that stays the same whenever you redo an event is collected into different categories, and then you can see like how was it rated by the people who took part in it. You will probably have some internal comments that tell you how to organize this, where you have to call, what tickets you have to book, and you have a like description that you can just take over for the new version of this event. And lastly, you can then just create a new instance of an event template, if that makes sense. So we try to not lose any knowledge on events that we have done before. Also, we collect comments on every single event, and we are able to see all of the feedback that we got by participants, which is not that much because they are lazy. Then the event creation, so we try to empower our members to do it themselves. Every member is able to create events, and then the board just has to approve, like check once that the finances are okay, that we do not go to Nuremberg the same day more than 3 times, and then you can approve the event, and everything is then basically handled. So the sign up, the lists, and everything. I will tell you later more about that. We also have an overview of who is on the board and instant ways to find these people and communicate with them. And there you can see that if a member creates an event, it shows up as a draft, and then the board gets to approve this event. I'm actually doing really good on time if this is correct. So we will be much slower now. This is also the more interesting part, like obviously the registration. We want to have paid, free, and external events. So external events in our case are, for example, a library tour where we just want to link into like the university sign-up sheet, because sometimes you want to surface something to your students that is not made by you. We also have other organizers, for example, our university, which should be different from our events. Or occasionally we do have 1 or 2 Mesa events where we try to help sell a little more tickets. And it's nice to show that another section is organizing. Then we also have registration dates for participants and members. So even though an event is public, you might not be able to register yet to increase fairness. Because it used to be like, if you found it first, you were in first. Here you can see it's pretty straightforward. The people can just register. Once you are registered for the participants, you can see you can share photos. You will see the meeting point, and you can open it in that. For interns, you can see who is already organizing this event, and you can join them if you want to. And yeah. Here, for example, we also have a couple of events, for example, the weekend trip, where we do not allow deregistration because it would just be too expensive in terms of strike fees. And then about the event running, which is probably one of the more ESN-specific things that we have. We try to help the people who run the event to do it properly. We usually send out an email to all participants a day before the event. So you can just copy the email addresses of organizers and participants. Or if you happen to use Outlook on your PC, you can also download an email template. Then we do QR codes for every participant, and you can check them in without downloading any additional software or setting stuff up. If you are an organizer on the event, you are able to check in people and validate, for example, that they showed you the correct QR code. That is not a problem, but I've heard that ESN sections have had issues with forged tickets before. And lastly, if there are expected expenses, you can also upload all the receipts while you are running the event, so everything is collected in a central place and safe. Then for participants, we do allow automatic refunds on paid events. up until 5 days before that. We do allow participants to transfer their spots because, well, sometimes they can't come, and if it's later than 5 days, we allow, like, our system is you get a long code. If someone puts in that code, they can pay, and you will get a refund, and the spot will be moved. To prevent them from having their own market or even a black market starting to exist, we decided to just offer that service so they do not have to trust that person. If the other person pays, you're good. And then we have the photo sharing. We try to collect all the relevant information that you might need in there so that our participants know whatever they need, information for the organizers, the phone numbers, the location, the plan for the event is all in there. And lastly, this is more for us as a board, very convenient. There is a calendar integration that just allows you to see all your events in your own calendar, which is also the reason why we put like DNA or internal meetings, just so people see it in their calendars automatically. Here are some screenshots of that. This is like, we also allow public registration codes. So our Telegram group is 50% people going like, I have a spot for this event, please use my code. And the other 50% people complaining that I don't have a spot on certain events. And this is what it looks like. You just put in the code, you see what it is, the price, and then you can claim that spot from someone else. And lastly, we do ask for ratings on every event that people took part in, and they can either just drop a star review or even some comments, which is immensely helpful to see when you are planning a new event. You can just see all the feedback that you have gathered or not on old ones. Or also when you want to be inspired, you can check which one was very popular. Like for example, in Braunschweig, it's just the best apparently, although it's a lot of work and traveling, but people seem to love it. Then what's in it for you? So I am not only here to boast about this, but this is actually towards the next. First of all, the university. So we asked our university to come up with some talking points about this because they are actively using it. So the international office does not have their own calendar. They publish everything with us, which is very convenient for the internationals because they know this is the single one place where you get all the TUM events at least. And so they are obviously profiting because they don't have to take care of this and allocate resources. We saved around 80% of their paper by doing this because they were previously doing handwritten receipts for people that registered for events, which is neither fast nor convenient. And also we collected all the receipts in paper and we had attendance lists and everything else. And also the university appears very service-oriented and modern, which is not always the case when you deal with them. But this is very straightforward for the students, and they don't really. I've took 15 minutes before I could be adjusted. No problem. So our idea is to have to enable the section to do what they are meant to do, help the internationals, and not introduce a lot of overhead while doing so. And I brought some numbers from TUMI since last October. So we currently have 6,000 registered users. We have a sum of 11,000 registrations, which is around 140,000 euros in revenue, which comes with a whole lot of other headaches, but this is not a session for that. And we did approximately 526 events that had a participation fee during that time. So you know it does work. And we've been using this for 3 years now, which means we are not coming to you with something that is not working. I know that the coffee break is really late today. It's not that much more. It is open source because I personally hate how ESN International mostly that everything is secret and there is no insight to what they are doing. And even if you wanted to get active, they just tell you, no, Satellite 5 is a secret and you are not allowed to see it. I think you can all relate, or at least the IT people can. It is open and free. So we just want to give that away to anyone who's interested. And it is possible to influence this. Like, we currently have the most influence because we are the only ones using it. But this does not mean that we cannot come up with new ways of using this. If you say 5 days of free deregistration is too much or too little, this is obviously something we can work on. And lastly, obviously, it will not be called the TUMI app if you use it. We are currently the only ones who use it. I didn't want to call it ESN app because that sounds pretentious since we are the only ones who are using it. But it is not the point to call it TUMI app, it's just what it is right now. Then, why am I here basically? I am looking for sections that are interested to join us in using this. I think this is more suited for bigger sections or someone who wants to do online payments. I am not looking for IT people, or I'm obviously looking for that too, but if you want to join us, it's not about the IT part, it's just we need commitment to work out the kinks of the app. It will say to me in multiple places, even when you are using it, and we just need to find these places and fix them. This will take a while, but it will work. So this is not an IT topic, it's just the commitment that you want to actually use it, and it will take some work to make sure that it works perfectly for you as well. And then we are currently able to host that for you for free because we use Microsoft's Azure credits for nonprofits. You can obviously do that yourself, it's not that much work. And currently you only have to pay Stripe fees because obviously you do. It's around 3% for us for most events, but we also have events that have a €1 fee, which means 26 cents in Stripe fees, which is not the best value for money. Then, what is planned in the future? Everyone seems to be interested whenever they see it. No one really acts on that interest. So it would be nice to make something more of that. The university is very interested in keeping this project alive. So even if you just know someone who might be interested in working for that, we will probably be able to have a bigger job position to maintain this. So that is something the university said is definitely manageable. And we are not only looking for technical people, it would also be nice to have some project management input. So just what is actually important, what is crucial for ESN sections, and maybe it's not required that you can set your Instagram profile. Maybe not the most crucial feature that we currently have. And I think this is a great opportunity to bring ESN forward and do something that actually impacts our sections and not slows us down, because I feel like this is not the local level, but the international level. IT is not usually the most pleasant experience for an ESN member. Right. Yes, and I am finished.
Hi, Luis, ESN International. So you mentioned part of everything inside of international is secret. Because at the moment, you probably are aware that International is also developing their own event management system app. If you've been in contact with maybe the international master or anyone to give some feedback on what should be used for the app in development by International, because really your app looks amazing and I work really like web as an international. Really just implementing that, but they need to be told what we want.
So I am part of the IT committee. I tried to be part of the ESN app in 2019, that project died. And as far as I know, the idea for the ESN International event management is to extend ESNcard.org to support this. And also there's a little bit of a competition situation with satellite, obviously, because this more or less replaces satellite. I have not talked to the current administrator, so would be interesting.
Okay, Mandela.
Thank you, Lucas. I want to just thank you for the very comprehensive presentation and for all the effort that you put into the app. Oh, naming section, Mandela National Board, Constance. So my question is, how scalable is it?
That is an interesting question. We sell around, 3,000 spots per day if we sell a lot. I think that we might have the highest throughput, so scalability is not that much of an issue currently. Also, it's hosted on Azure, which is Microsoft's AWS for people who know that, and it does scale horizontally if that is interesting to you. So shouldn't be an issue.
So you take charge of everything and you just...
Currently, yes.
A reaction?
Yeah.
So as you said, you can just, you basically have the helm and whatever section wants to do whatever with the app. You don't need any...
At least for the first couple of sections that is possible. If we run out of free Azure credits, we will have to find a different way, but it's not that hard.
One last time.
Okay.
And as of now, it's running, right? So you could also take it to Brussels.
Yes. I mean, we've been using, this is how our section works. If this goes down, our section also does. No, it goes down very rarely.
Today's is in Austria. I wanted to ask you because you said that you want to share with the network, and I assume for now you have this in Germany, but is that something that you would extend to other countries as well?
I do not see any reason why this has to stay in Germany. The app is in English anyways, and anyone who is interested in this is great, because I feel like if there's more than one section who really uses this, there's a much higher chance of this going on and working for many people.
Ja, wir sind momentan 2000 answered around 900 people and it was very amazed by the app and the uses in this with the plans.
Adi?
Adi is announced. There is like an audio provision, like it's announced which kind of tasks it should be for people who own the IT team.
This is not part of the IT team. Not sure what you mean.
No, like you said that for the out, and they said that people.
Can you hold the microphone in front of you?
Your question is how should sessions join them on the...
Okay, basically reach out to me. It's not that much work. I just have to create a user for you. And a domain, because you can have a domain from us. It's something.esn.world. You can also check this out. It's running. It's tomi.esn.world if you want to see it on your laptop or whatever. It's just that most of the app is hidden to normal users. Okay.
That is.
I think the scope of the app is amazing. Oh yeah, that is in Deutschland. The scope of the app is really amazing. One specific thing, like many sections are using widgets, where you have a lot of options on making different tools, different prices, different things. Which options do you have in this app concerning selling tickets?
So we currently only have the option to add multiple prices, for example, one for ESN card holders, or lower prices for section members. This would be something that can be explored if many people need this. We currently do not.
Luis?
Like there's also been an option. Luis, financial auditor. On that, like because you mentioned you have different prices for ESN card holders and so on. Like how is that they need to choose by themselves, or whenever they already have an allocated ESN card, it automatically shows them already discounted price, or do they need to do some sort of promotion?
Okay, so this is getting oddly specific, but I can tell you that if they buy an ESN card from us, we obviously know it. Otherwise, they can send you an email and we will add it to their account. It is automatic and safe.
Yes, that was where are the stores located? Where is that today?
That is mostly Azure's Germany West region.
So like you say, Delta in German. Hi, Peter. This is awesome. Thank you so much for doing that. Peter, Berlin 1. Okay, two questions. First one is, I know some people are very lazy, downloading apps, so is it possible to purchase tickets?
Yes,
on the
okay.
web?
Common misconception, it's called App for Application. It is a website, there is an Android version of this as well. Mostly it's a website.
Okay, awesome. And the second one is, you mentioned that you can cancel, the participants can cancel up to 5 days prior. Is it possible to adjust that amount of time?
Yes, that would be one of the examples. Obviously, the 5 can be 20 if that works better for you, or 1 if you can handle like very short notice cancellations.
Thank you.
Peter, yes, and Bob. I wanted to know if you offer cash payments and how you integrate them.
We currently do not. We used to have that, but yeah, as we do everything online, also for fairness reasons, because we have a campus that's very far away and the people are not physically able to pay in cash before the event is filled, we move to all online.
That's covered, no get it. Awesome. Nice.
Okay.
Any more questions? Or reaction, yeah?
No, I reacted to the first question and then I got put in
Awesome.
There was a last slide that says, please come to me at lunch, during the lunch breaks, write me on WhatsApp or Slack. I'm happy for any input or interest.
Yeah, Aziz. Raise your hands, I have to see them. It's very difficult. I'm blind.
Yes, and Bochum. Actually, I have like some question about the people. Like, there's money like online, be like data or which kind of method of payment method you use?
We are using Stripe. Stripe supports almost everything but PayPal. They do support SEPA, support payments, Klarna, Ideal, the Polish version of SEPA, and credit cards. It has, some people have complained, but out of our 6,000 participants, it's around like 10. And even if they do, usually they do find a credit card mysteriously a few hours later with a different name.
Is it more like a general comment, like, yeah, there will be always people complaining, we are definitely never reach financial. We can never like make sure that 100% of the people are happy with this service. So like some people complaining is never an excuse to not do something.
More questions? Was that the question or not? Okay, cool. Unofficial sign.
Alonso, yes, and Myro. So I wanted to say to you and the developers of this app, thank you for doing this because it's amazing, and I think it will help in ESN in the future. And thank you for sharing. 2 weeks ago, we were in the West Regional platform, and people from ESN to me were showing the app, and our region is very interested in this thing, and also ESN Belgium asked a lot about this, so I think it will be shared in ESN International, and thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Julio. Any more questions? Last few seconds of the question round. All right, 3, 2, 1. The closing speakers list. Thank you very much. see here.
Ich muss die Maßnahme aufschreiben. Okay, gib Gas.
Coffee break is ready, so we are seeing each other in what?
You have to ask me
Wait a
twice.
second. Ich schließe die Stunde, nicht dass ich nicht
ask the question, why education, what education? You might know education and youth as one of the causes where you were trying to find some events to organize on the local level. It's not always that easy. Oh, so, okay. And but there's of course different levels which deal with different things which are related to education. And we want to connect that also with a bit of what exactly are we doing against the ESN, what and why. So if you paid attention yesterday, you know the mission of ESN. Somebody remembers. We had a quorum check about that yesterday, and it was kind of mentioned today also. Really? Yeah? Something like that, yes. Pretty much exactly something like that. So it's enrichment of society through international students. We think international student exchange is enriching for society, and we want to contribute to that. And we contribute to that by having all of activities, of course, on the local level, bringing international students together, bringing them closer to our communities. But of course, there is more happening. You might know at the international level, the international board and the support structures are talking very much to European institutions, trying to advocate for a lot of things. So do we try to do that on the national level, and what do we advocate for? We want to have more exchange possibilities, more mobility for students and also for non-students, and we want to make these more impactful. And how are we trying to do that? Well, we're trying to influence actually some processes. And for example, we have some pretty strong opinions on some topics. For example, well, exchange is good. And if you cut funding for exchange, it's not good. So I mentioned that yesterday already a little bit. There was these funding cuts proposed by our government, which included the DAAD, which is a problem on several fronts. On one hand, it might affect us as an association, or like a lot of you get funding through DAAD programs, like the LIFE program. On the other hand, it affects exchange possibilities for a lot of people. A lot of the DAAD grants are actually given out for people to come to Germany and sometimes also to go abroad. That might be affected by some cuts in the future if that goes through. And, well, not great. And that's basically what we said. And I hope really that many of you people by now, as I mentioned it like for the third time, I think, read actually our open letter there and spread the word, because we really want to put some pressure there. And yeah, as I mentioned, we distributed that also with the help of the VDSE. If you don't know about that, we will present that tomorrow. So this is the Association of Student Unions, where we also student associations in Germany, where we're also part of. We sent that to politicians, and we tried to get some responses and follow up. I'm still trying to get a hearing in a parliamentary committee and really make our point there, because we are a big network, we have some influence, we have a lot of students that we represent, and this is democracy. We want to take an active part there, and let's see how this turns out. We're also teaming up there, not just with the VDSE, but also the student, elected student representatives, who are also by majority not happy about this topic, and trying to get, to do what we can. And we are, of course, very happy for all of your support. If you care about the topic, you can spread that, talk to your international offices, talk to local news or whatever. But I think it's really a topic that matters. A little bit more on the updates side. We can talk a little bit about the Erasmus upgrade, where we also were, Yasmin and I, at the community meeting of the International Education Community, and it pretty much prepared us for what was connected to it this year, and that was the final conference of the SEAM project, Social Inclusion and Engagement and Mobility. This is a very interesting project that took place in the past years. There was a lot of research done. Probably you and your sections forwarded some of the inquiries there. So thank you very much for that. And there's a lot of outcomes there that are now published and pushed also towards European institutions, but also who can always improve something there, not just European and national institutions, but also local institutions, your universities. So you can ask, of course, us about the topics, the outcomes there, but you can also access directly the report, it's public. And you can take these topics and look, oh, how is it at your university? And you can go to your university and say, oh, well, this is not great, probably you want to do something about that. And this is, by this you can improve the possibilities for your international students, make mobility more inclusive, but also shows that you and we as ESM care about this topic and probably find a connection to your international office and your universities who should also care about this topic. Yeah, next slide, please. There was also introduced at this event the Erasmus Generation portal. It's very interesting grant simulator. So Erasmus Generation portal is a portal where exchange students can access information about their destinations. So we are very much responsible for also providing information about Germany, providing testimonials. This is all things that you can do at this website, provide testimonials from your stay abroad, for example. And there is this grant simulator, very interesting thing, it's got a lot of coverage, where you can, as a potential exchange student, simulate how much money you should be getting when going from one country to a specific other country and find out probably that you're not getting enough and then complain. So it's also an entry point for going to a lot of other public ESM portals like the blog and the Green Erasmus. So yeah, spread the word also. If you get this information here, it also means you always invited to share this with your international office and let them pass on this information to your students, mostly your future outgoing students there. Yeah, this is how it looks like. Want to add something maybe to the website?
Yeah, this is how the website looks. It's the Erasmus Generation portal. You can Google it easily and then you will get there. And as you see, like on the top, you have like the portal, the blog, the activities, the EGM, Erasmus, Erasmus, and so on. And it's like pretty easy. It's like on the right side, you have like the grant simulator and also the testimonials, which I think is maybe the coolest thing about your project. Yes. So these are like the testimonials. You can read them. Like every one of you can write one. So I highly encourage you to go to the page and write some sentences about your stay abroad, like Erasmus stay. For example, you can see Rick, he's in the Netherlands, and he went on exchange in Slovenia. And then you can click on this picture, and then you see his report about how his stay was. That is pretty easy, and I highly recommend you to do so, because you can help other students who want to go abroad to see what they can expect from the stay. Yeah. Yes, and I also want to talk a little bit about the Green Erasmus. I already shared some things in Slack, I guess. But it's a website with lots of information about how to make Erasmus greener, like already before you leave, during your stay, and after your mobility. And there's also a petition going on. There's a QR code, you can easily scan it, and then you will get to the page where you can sign the petition. And yeah, like the basic thing about this, if you want to see significant changes in the Green Erasmus, you need to get more money, because at the moment, if you travel with a train, for example, to your Erasmus destination, you get a top